Hi, and welcome to our channel. We're the Nomadic Normans.
I'm Tyler, aka Dad.
I'm Kaylee, aka Mom.
And I'm Colton, aka Smolt.
I'm Cooper, aka Luke.
And this is Callie, aka Tiny. We're a family of 5 converting our 2005 Thomas Freightliner into a tiny home to travel America. Come in and follow our journey. After demoing our bus, we were able to get started on the floors. Make sure you check out our previous video to see us completely demoing our bus. I still consider this part of the demo phase because you're getting rid of the old so you can have new. So with that being said, we had to prep the old floors so we could get ready to prime them so that way we could put our new subfloor in. This included sanding and grinding the floors to get rid of all the old dirt, debris, rust, etc. We used a grinder and a drill to sand our floors. On the bright side, the location that we got our bus from was in the south, so there was little to no rust on our bus. We found that the grinder was a lot more efficient. However, because of how fast it spun, the pads on the grinder disappeared a lot faster. So this meaning we had to spend more money buying more pads. The drill worked good as well. However, it was a lot more time consuming and your finger got tired of holding the trigger down after so long. And in my opinion, the drill just didn't do as good as a job as the grinder did. Tyler's an electrician, so he used old steel knockouts from electrical boxes to cover the holes that were in the floor of the bus from the seats and the old floor. Okay, so we're about to start priming the floors. Ow!
So we're almost ready to start priming the... Ow!
Okay, so we're about to start priming the floors so that we can get started on getting the subfloors down.
Wait. Is my beard cooking?
I'm making this for YouTube.
Oh. Well, let me know when you're making one for YouTube.
Okay, so we're getting ready to prime the floors. We're dirty from sanding. So this is our bus so far.
Alright, I'm good. I'm good now. It's even.
We've literally tore everything out of it. And we've sanded the floors and now we're about to get started on priming them. So when we pulled up the old floors, there were these holes in them. And so now we're about to prime those with paint and put a cap of metal or steel on them so that they don't rust out so we can prime the whole floor. And that is the point we're at right now. So after we primed the steel knockouts, we also primed the holes in the floor. We just wanted to be extra precautious and make sure no rust occurred. We used Rust-Oleum spray paint to prime these holes and to prime the knockouts. You'll see the exact paint I bought later on in the video. After all the holes were primed with the Rust-Oleum, we realized we needed more supplies, so we took a trip. We made it to Home Depot and we are here to get some supplies for the bus. So we're going into Home Depot. What are we buying in here?
A bunch of stuff.
For what?
The bus.
Since he won't answer the question, I will. We're getting insulation for the walls, some more primer,
sanding pads for the grinder.
Some more sanding pads for the grinder. And I think that was it.
I think so for now.
This is the Rust-Oleum we used.
You want to push her? Oh, going right, going right. There's lots of little houses. Okay.
Now insulation. We also bought some cans of Great Stuff. It works really good as insulation in tight fitting places.
You break it, you buy it.
Well, one, brother.
What you doing under there?
Look, we could have just brought my work truck. You realize that, right? Like, there's no need in this. This is kind of uncalled for when you have a truck. We don't have to, like, do it like the other people with the Skoolie builds, okay? Where they're carrying stuff like this in their car. I mean, we understand their hurt. I do. I truly do. And I'm claustrophobic.
The electrical box knockouts that I showed you previous in the video was secured to the floor with the liquid nails. I didn't realize how many holes were in the floor of the bus and how many knockouts we actually had to secure to the floor of the bus. After doing this and letting the knockouts dry with the liquid nails, we were able to get ready to start priming our floors. We used Rust-Oleum primer to prime the floors as well. This really felt like such a huge accomplishment. Now we actually got to start building a little on the bus. We bought insulation for the subfloor, as well as for the side panels on the bus. We used Great Stuff on the bus to insulate those really tight-fitting places that were hard to get to with other insulation. We used this in the side panels, and we also used this in the beams of the bus. We drilled holes, and then we added the Great Stuff insulation. After it dried, we added the regular foam board insulation. This is the XPS foam board insulation, and we purchased it at Home Depot. And really it just fit perfectly in those side panels after being cut. And now we can actually install the subfloor of our bus. We used 1x3s to frame our subfloor. We didn't want to take away from too much height in the ceiling because we also needed to add insulation and the base plywood for the subfloor. We secured the 1x4s onto the floor using liquid nails. We didn't want to put a bunch of holes back into the floor of the bus. We framed around the entire border of the bus, and then we also end up adding supports. We also framed around the wheel wells because we want to insulate these later as well. We used 1/2-inch poly insulation as well as 1/4-inch foam board insulation for the floor of the bus. And we made sure to keep our fuel pump patch accessible. Hopefully we don't ever have to, but in case we ever need to work on it. We also used aluminum tape to seal around all the edges. We used 7/16 Tech Shield solar board as the base for our subfloor. A full piece almost fit perfectly, but we did have to do some cutting. We also cut out a piece to make sure we left the spot open for the fuel pump accessible. We added insulation to the wheel wells. And now we have a beautiful subfloor. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications for more. Follow Nomadic Normans on Instagram and TikTok.